Hi, this is Clarissa Concordia, and I will be reporting on broadcast performance, ad-libbing, and becoming a polished performer. Here are the content of our report. First, I'll talk about what ad-libbing is, as well as some tips on how to do it effectively. And of course, we'll also be talking about how to become a polished performer. Let's begin. Let's start with ad-libbing. Citing Tendon and Tripathi, 2021, ad-libbing is a Latin term which means at one's pleasure. Ad-libbing is a non-scripted part that a broadcaster can add spontaneously. So it can be a comment, an anecdote, unscripted talk, or maybe a short story. Of course, as long as it is related to the topic that the announcer is talking about. Ad-libbing gives a voice or identity to the broadcasters as it adds a personal touch. So, according to Tabing and Nasalia, many situations require that a reporter or an announcer have the skills in delivering spontaneous speech. So, ad-libbing is also a common practice when something goes wrong, like the show is disturbed or there is a technical difficulty. So here are some characteristics that make one a great impromptu speaker. First, they must have an agile mind. An agile mind is a key trait for an effective impromptu speaker. This means that the ability to think quickly and adapt to unexpected situations. Now, what else can you do when you have an agile mind? So, of course, you can come up with ideas and you can structure your speech on the spot. Aside from that, you're able to adjust your message based on the audience and the context, of course. And of course, an agile mind enables you to analyze problems and provide coherent responses if ever you encounter challenging questions or scenarios during the live talk. So, a second trait is to be knowledgeable of the subject matter. While impromptu speaking often involves limited preparation, having a foundational understanding of a broad range of subjects is advantageous. So, a good impromptu speaker should demonstrate authority and credibility on the topic. Because when you show that you are knowledgeable about a certain topic, that means, of course, you have established this credibility with your audience. And having a grasp of the subject matter also allows you to explain the concepts clearly, no matter how complex they are, and you can also provide depth to your discussion. Now, next, so here are some tips for ad-libbing. First is you have to research. To speak confidently without hesitation, you have to research and prepare beforehand. Now, researching current events or relevant subjects related to your program can provide you with a knowledge base. Also, you can be informed about your audience's interests and preferences, as this will guide your ad-lib comments and ensure that they resonate with your listeners. Now, a second tip is to organize. Organize your thoughts. You have to make a structure of your speech, even in an impromptu situation. So when you are on that spot, you have to quickly outline the key points that you want to cover. So when you have that clear structure in mind about the introduction, the main points of your argument, as well as the conclusion, then you can deliver your thoughts in a logical and in an engaging manner. So lastly, of course, you have to practice frequently because it can help enhance your spontaneity. So rehearsing ad-lib segments or participating in improvisational exercises can enhance your ability to respond quickly and effectively. Aside from that, it helps you become more comfortable with thinking on your feet. And when you practice, it can help you build your confidence and refine your delivery. So the more you practice ad-libbing, the more spontaneous and natural you will appear to your listeners. Now let's go to the second part of the report, which is becoming a polished performer. So how do we create a favorable impression with the audience? Here are some tips from the book. First, you should have a balanced personality. Now, what does it mean to have a balanced personality? So basically, a balanced personality for a radio announcer means having a combination of these key qualities. You have to be engaging, you have to stay cool under pressure, and of course you have to be quick at thinking. So let's talk about being engaging. So of course, as a radio announcer, you have to captivate the audience and keep the listeners engaged. Now, next, also a good radio announcer should be able to stay calm and composed in challenging situations. And lastly, they should be able to think quickly on their feet, such as when interviewing guests or when things go wrong. Now, next tip is to create with assurance, or to speak with assurance and conviction. So speaking with assurance and conviction is, of course, crucial for radio announcers. So first, listeners are more likely to believe and trust information if it is delivered with conviction. Now, aside from that, speaking with conviction can also make your arguments more persuasive. And lastly, speaking with assurance can establish the announcer as an authority on the subject matter. So this can be important, of course, when discussing news or complex topics. So third tip is you must have interest in people. A genuine interest in people can help radio announcers to be more effective, relevant, and successful in their role. So when you show interest in your listeners, then it helps you create a more engaging and interactive experience. Aside from that, so it can help your listeners feel that they are valued and appreciated, which in return can increase your listener loyalty and engagement. And of course, most importantly, by understanding the interests, concerns, and preferences of their audience, the radio announcers can tailor their content to better meet the needs of the listeners. And last but not the least, you must enjoy reading and be capable of interpreting good writing. So why are these important? When you have good reading skills, then you can fully understand the content that you are delivering. And this understanding is also reflected in your delivery because it can help make her content more meaningful for the audience. And of course, being able to interpret good writing can also help announcers to communicate complex ideas in a way that it is easy for the audience to understand. So now, how to improve your skills? Practice your speech frequently, have someone evaluate your speech, and analyze the speech of others. So let's talk about the differences of these tips, and let's see why these are important. So of course, practice. Like any other skill, the more you practice, the better you get. And when you regularly practice, it can help you improve your delivery, timing, and the ability to think on your feet. Aside from that, practicing can also help you gain better control of your voice, can help you modulate your tone, pitch, and volume effectively. Next is, of course, having someone evaluate your speech. An external evaluator is essential as they can provide objective feedback that you might have missed. Aside from that, they can also point out the strengths and areas for improvement from an audience's perspective. And the more you receive feedback, the more you learn, and the more you can apply best speaking practices to your own speech. And lastly, analyzing speeches can also help you understand how to structure the content, use language effectively, and present your ideas in a compelling way. So listening to others allows you to observe different delivery techniques such as their tone, pace, and emphasis, which in turn you can incorporate these techniques in your own delivery. And of course, remember to be creative. Be creative enough to come up with fresh ideas each day. Be serious enough to discuss civic problems, and be humorous enough to create every morning, every day with a smile, a good joke, or a happy song. So that's it for my review on the broadcast performance. Thank you so much for listening to this report, and let's have a discussion on the discussion issues. Thank you.